Games, my guy.
Boom goes the dynamite.
It's only a game. Why did you catch the man?
Hello, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Games My Guy podcast, the esports podcast by fans for fans. My name is Patrick Akes Avery Kenny, and joined, as always, is my PIC. I've already used this joke. My player in crime, Ethan Doc Goose Butler. What is up, dude?
I just feel so good after hearing that. That made me so happy. Just made me, my heart is full, and the juice is flowing.
Your heart's full. The juice is flowing. We got a lot of hot goss that we're talking about. We haven't even started the podcast, and I already know that I'm calling this the TMZ episode because we're talking hot goss. We're talking stuff that you're only getting here at this podcast because we're brave enough to talk about it. Yeah,
we're gonna do it. Everyone's afraid. They're all just cowards. They're not gonna say what we're gonna say. We're gonna be the ones. We're brave. We're bold. We're giving 110%.
Yeah.
We're never losing that fight up the mountain.
Never.
Patrick, how much fear is in this dojo? Tell me how much.
The last time I checked in this dojo, there's actually 0% fear.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
And I like to, and there's a sign. It says 146 days until the last time we've experienced fear in this dojo.
So you're just 146 days since our last fear.
Since our last.
It happened precisely in I think it was the May Melee when the Vancouver Titans almost beat the Toronto Defiant.
Yes,
that was our last fear, and we haven't felt fear since.
Yeah,
we've accepted life is one way.
I still wake up in cold sweats imagining what could have been, and not to say the Defiant had an amazing season to any respect, but if they lost that game, that would have been rough. That would have been a rough one.
Like, I'm a Titans fan as well, and I like them to do well, but even I was going for Defiant, I bet that game because I love them very much. They're near and dear to my heart now. Although they don't have Mangachu anymore, so that's a bit sad.
Ugh.
But I remember that's why I became a Defiant fan. I remember saying when they first formed, I was like, the only player I really know anything about on this team is Neko, and he betrayed me from Boston, so I'm mad at him. And now I was like, if they sign Mangachu, I'll buy a jersey, and I did.
There you go.
They Mangachu's name on it. So
remember when Neko was like the flagship player that signed by the Defiant that we were all hyped about?
Yes.
And then nothing happened.
He's a main support now, I believe.
That's You know what? If you're good enough, you find a way. Main support's not a bad spot for him, I don't think.
No, I didn't know too much about it because I try and pay attention to the Korean contenders as best I can. But he's on O2 Blast, I believe, still, and he was playing main support with Yakpung, actually.
Yakpung. Oh, that's good.
Whether they stay there for now, though, they could be moving on up.
You never know. You honestly never know.
That's the hot goss.
That's the hot goss, and I think.
Oh, let me just tell you. Let me just drop a nugget.
Yeah, sorry, Ethan just had to take his hot goss pose.
I also may have dislocated my shoulder like a year ago.
Still hasn't recovered. But let's get into the hot goss. I think we've beat around that bush too much. Ethan, where do you want to start? I'll tell you where I want to start. You know what? I'll say that first.
Yeah.
Kariv going over to the charge.
That's a biggie.
That was a boy that we both were very, very excited for. He made some huge plays for the Defiant. He was definitely not a weak link in any respect.
He won that game for them that we were just talking about, literally, pretty much. Vancouver was about to run away with the series, but then Kariv said, maybe not.
Then
Kariv just won.
Kariv as Zenyatta going onto the payload, just shooting heads in overtime, just... I have to win for my team. He got 2 headshots.
Brady, get out of my way. I am killing them. As he would say, Brady, not agilities.
Yeah, that was definitely a TSN turning point. What do you make of all this, Ethan?
I'm just happy to have found a home, to be honest. Because when he left the Defiant, I was really sad. Because he's one of my, like we've talked about, he's one of our favorite players. And I was surprised they let him go, to be honest. He's in the upper echelon of flat support, such a competitive position in the league. Like, there's so many good ones, but Kariv still found a way to make himself stand out in certain ways. And so I was surprised they let him go, but they wanted to do a full rebuild except for Logis and Beast, I guess. And so I'm happy he found a home. I'm surprised. I don't know if I'm surprised at the charge. I didn't hear anything about this in the rumor mill. And so honestly, it's going to be weird seeing him without agilities. Honestly, the reason everyone's saying agility is the charge now is purely because Kariv is on the charge. But like, it's not. I doubt it's going to happen because there's so much talent they can pull from other regions, and like the Chinese region's got a bunch of up and coming talent they could get on their one of their home teams. Again, I'm happy he has a home. He's a sweet boy, and he's so funny and cute, and we just want him to be happy.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I completely feel the same way you do. I'm just glad he found a spot. I respect the Defiant for having a vision and following through with it, no matter what that is. But Kriv will be missed. Much like I know that I'm just personally nostalgic about Ivy, but it'll be like another Ivy for me, so I'll be happy with that.
So you've always loved you some Ivy. You've been a big Ivy boy for 2 years.
Yeah, Ivy was my I'm pretty sure in our group chat I sent a voice memo saying Ivy's my fucking hero.
He's your son because half our friend group has claimed an Overwatch player as their son.
It's true. I fell in love with Ivy when he was playing Tracer on the Defiant. Where were you in 2019?
I was cheering for DeFran, okay? I bought a Rain jersey. I touched his hand when I was there.
I touched his hand.
I saw him play. He didn't. I don't know if I can't remember if he said "Let's go, dude," but he probably did. Or
at some point,
he must have. That was also around the time when DeFran was just like, well, remember when they interviewed him and he was supposed to say "Let's go, dude," and he's just like, with the power of Twitch Prime, I nearly managed to pop off, and he like awkwardly thumbs up into the camera after they cut away to Mika, and he kind of leaned in so you could still see him.
What a different life we were living a year ago.
Yeah, the league was so weird. It was DeFran rolled out. His first name was on Torb in Goats. Mayhem was Pooh. Boston was actually competitive, and it was awesome.
Yeah, Boston. Do they still hold the win streak record, or has
No, I think they lost.
San Francisco taken that?
I think the Titans. I want to say.
Oh, you're right. Yes,
2019 Titans may have done something to it.
Yeah.
Boston held it for a long time though. Like, I don't remember when it was broken, but I think it was broken. I want to say it might be the Shock, to be honest, but I'm pretty sure it was the Titans.
Yeah.
Call us out on this one if anyone's actually listening and call us out. Please please let us know.
Yeah, we understand we're never right. We're just mostly right some of the time.
We're like
that's a t-shirt. Did you just we never
we're
say we're right, but we are partially right some of the time.
60% of the time we're right.
Every time. Perfect.
That doesn't make sense. All right.
Well, all right. Yeah.
You come here for the esports and the Anchorman quotes. We know.
We live to cater. That's really it, honestly.
We're a very niche audience.
But yeah, Kariv to charge. That's great. That's exciting. And like you said, it's hard as a off support, or as a flex support, just because you get those DPS players who are just filling that role sometimes, and it's very competitive. You're right. So it's cool to see Kariv finding a home. There's a lot of other people that have found homes. I mean, the biggest thing for the Defiant news was Beast getting signed over, which I think we touched on a little bit last episode.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we probably did. We've spoken of Beast in the past, I assume.
Beast Halo, as he was formerly known.
Occasionally called by his parents, I assume. And then I'm not sure what to make of the Beast move. And we said it again, it could be really good. It could be really good. I would just be more comfortable if they had another option as well, at least to start things out.
Yeah.
Or the Sato situation. Just people really wanted another main tank for the Fusion last year before this year. And then Sato was the only main tank, and he came out and was really, really good.
So
it all
good.
depends. Yeah, I think it all depends who they get for supports, to be honest. It's like if they got a good coach, then support's an off tank. Because if they can have one of the reasons I believe Sato did so well was because he has a support line that could enable him to do what he wanted to do. Like, you have fucking Funny Astro and Alarm, you're barely gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, who's killing you?
Who and how are they killing you? Honestly.
No.
Yeah, but that's a big thing I wanted to talk about. Sato leaving the Philadelphia Fusion along with Fury.
Yeah.
Really mixed feelings about this on Twitter. A lot of people are either excited or don't. It completely came out of left field for them.
Yeah, it's a wild west out there with reactions.
Yeah, and Sato was Fusion's main tank, like, and he was very, very good at it. They got third going into the playoffs. So it just seemed very, very strange for both Sato and Fury, their starting tank lineup, to just be let go.
Yeah, like I know they signed Mono, but this was not Mono's best year. So I've seen even NYXL fans be like, in this matchup, I don't know if I would like. I love Mono, but like I would probably kept Sato because Sato had a better year than Mono did.
Yeah.
And and then people were like, oh, maybe they'll match up Mono with Fury. That's a good duo. And like again, I've seen someone say, I can't remember who put it on Twitter. It was like there's like ships in the night. People have been wanting a Mono Fury tank line for 3 years, but it's just keeps. They got so close, dipped, and so now Fury and Sato are available. I know I've said they should come to Defiant. A lot of people are saying though Fury could go with Seoul to reunite with his London boys. Yeah. I just want to find good players. So every time a player is released from a high-profile team and they're really good, I'm like, hey, Defiant, they're available.
I totally agree. I when I saw your tweet, I was like, yeah, 100%. That would be amazing. I just it really didn't make sense to me just because Sato really stepped up to the plate this year. They relied on him being the main tank, and they didn't really field anyone else. And he showed up, and he was very, very good in his role this year. And I don't know, it just didn't really make a lot of sense. And I know our boy Larry probably doesn't love this move either. Our Philadelphia Fusion loving gamer.
It's true. We'll have to get Larry's thoughts on this because it would be curious to hear straight from the Larry's mouth, if you will, because he's got a lot of opinions on this, I'm sure. For
sure. I mean, as long as Carpe doesn't lose his job, I'm cool. I'm cool with any move, honestly.
And Philly fans would burn that city to the ground. Even whatever number of them there are in Philly, there's probably a lot, obviously, and so they would just the Fusion Arena, which hasn't even been built, would somehow already be burnt down. They would find a way. They would go to like Tucker's house and be like, "Hey," knocking on his door, be all mad. Yeah. Give me the fish.
Get that fish out of here. Get him playing video games again.
I remember I also saw a tweet that was just like, who they needed for off tank? Well, I guess whoever Carpe says the best, that's who they're getting. But people forget also Poto is alive. He's not dead. He's still there, and he's really good. Could he be better than Fury? Arguably, maybe not. It's hard to say because Fury is so good. But like, Poto is not a slouch, and he could synergize with Mono. Speaking of Meko, there's an option. But they need to the Fusion thrives so much on being like hyper aggressive. So like Mono is an interesting choice. Mono is not overly aggressive. He's shown it sometimes, but he mostly plays pretty passive and reactively. So it's kind of, is Mono going to work? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it might be like just a notion of just a complete change of how they play the game. Like it might even just turn into the Philadelphia Fusion looking at the game more passively, or maybe looking for more opportunities instead of being on the attack. Which, I mean, if the Shanghai Dragons have shown us anything, it's about being the fastest and being there first. So we'll see how their play changes. But yeah, I mean,
I want to see them tell Funny Astro to not be so aggressive. Like, how's that? No, he's getting like a 6K. Leave him alone. Let Funny Astro do what he wants to do. He's going to protect Alarm somehow as well. Alarm's going to keep him alive. They just leave Funny Astro be. He's going to do what he does. Don't tell Funny Astro a different way. Let me enjoy my wild, wacky Lucios that I love to watch fried out in the backline.
Yeah, I don't think you can take the Funny Astro out of his gameplay. He will always be an aggressive Lucio through and through.
Like Lee J. Dawn. You're not going to tell Lee J. Dawn to not hyper feed in the hope that he's gonna get maybe a kill on the tracer. You're not gonna tell Lily Jaidon to stop 1v1ing that Pharah.
Exactly.
But, 'cause he's gonna do it. Mercy, Lucio, whatever he's playing, he's going ham. I love Reddit Lucios, and I want them all to be in the lead. But speaking of like,
that
there's
would be
gonna be a lot.
that would be a good All-Star weekend. Just 1v1 Lucios.
Oh man, just yeah, Funny Astro, Lee J Don, FD God. Jet say at times, but he's more. I'm trying to just think of more, but like Moth is not really a Reddit Lucio because he's more. I don't know why we say Reddit, but like you know why. But
Everyone, it's just a turn of phrase at this point.
Yeah, but it's gonna be interesting to see what they got a new coach with the Fusion too. They got the new coach 9K. He's clearly got a plan, so I don't know what it is, but hopefully it's good. Especially if you're a Fusion fan, you've been this close twice now to a championship.
It's true,
and so. Let's just breathe. It's gonna be okay. Hopefully, maybe I don't know. But there's a lot more news, Patrick. There's a lot going on. Fusion they may have released Ivy, Fury, and Sato. Oh, I said Ivy, didn't I?
You did.
Oh no! But you should come home to Toronto.
Maybe
Patrick.
in my dreams, I think only. Ethan, what other hot goss you got?
I was thinking. Okay, I'm looking again at the charge moves because they signed Kariv, but they also dropped Shu, who's now with the Los Angeles Gladiators, which is awesome.
Yeah.
They dropped Happy and Nero as well. And again, a high-profile player from a good team. My immediate reaction is like Defiant.
Get him in there.
Think about a Logit's Happy Nero DPS line. That's insane. Double hit stand. Chef's kiss is what's going to be happening. Oh, you want a really strong flex? Not flex. Like flex DPS. Boom, Nero. He exists. He has. I don't know if he wants to go to a Western roster or Western team, but that's such a good option. He's going to get picked up. Toronto's got to start throwing the bank at somebody.
Yeah, Happy can literally work anywhere. That guy is world class. I don't expect him going down to contenders. I think an Overwatch League team's going to pick him up. It really depends on which team, though. And it also depends.
So he could go to Dallas. Dallas has been showing to open the past. Hastro has just got blank checks. He's just writing them out. He's like, here you go. Write in what you think is appropriate.
Yeah, I was thinking Dallas, honestly. Like, he might be a good alternate. Honestly, the way Dallas is shaping up, Happy might be an alternate. But it also depends on what Happy wants to do. Like, does he want to be on a mixed roster? Does he want to stay in the APAC region? It really depends on what he's looking for. So
yeah, that is the thing, because like some of these players who have never played on mixed rosters before, and it'd be a bit of a challenge. Again, I've said this once, I've said it before. If the Korean players are learning English, the English players should be learning Korean. Everyone should be working so they can at least communicate in the other's native language to some degree. So it's all fair and everyone can have a point of communication.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends if the player wants to do that. Like I know certain Chinese players are really struggling. Sometimes they get in the lead. Like there's Idea, who's been on the Dragons, but he's been like one of the best players in Chinese contenders like all year on Team CC. He might not get picked up because his only two logical options were like Chengdu and the Charge. And so like it's harder for certain players to do on certain teams because of the language barrier. And if they maybe don't have experience or maybe don't want, like you said, to play on the mixed roster, that's a perfectly valid excuse. Like there's no shame in saying, oh, I actually prefer to stick with one language. It's just much easier for me. But God damn it, it was so good. I want Toronto to have a good roster. And all we've announced so far, to be fair, I'm not mad at these moves. It's all we know so far is that they've signed people from last year. Where's the juice? I need it. I'm dying.
Ethan is thirsty. All right, Overwatch League owners.
I'm holding just water. That's not juice. Give me it.
I need the thick juice, please.
I feel like Schmidt from New Girls. Like, give me it. Give me a juice, Nick.
I watched a TikTok of someone doing their best impersonation of that guy. It was very funny, but I have never watched the show, so I don't know. I have no reference.
The show starts off a little too cutesy, like with Zoe Deschanel. It leans too hard into the dorkable, I'm quirky type of business.
Gotcha.
it settles down about half near the end of season 1, and like the whole ensemble really takes over. And oh my god, Schmidt's the best. But that being said, that's not esports. If you want to watch New Girl, it's a pretty fun show. But other than that, like, fuck, man, like, there's okay. What did we talk about? We've talked about the TMZ gossip. What do you want to talk about?
It's actually kind of hot off the presses, if you don't mind. Yeah, it literally came out 20 minutes ago. Crimzo, he just posted a little thing. He went, and then the eye emojis, and then he just put hashtags for a bunch of different Overwatch League teams. And one of those happened to be the Toronto Defiant. So I don't know if he happened to hide the team that signed him in this grouping, but this is the goss you're getting on Games My Guy.
I didn't see this. This is beautiful. Did you see the first comments from Blase? The first comments just like, guy really flexing how many tryouts he got.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I'm looking at the teams. He's like, thank you for bringing this to my attention. You know how much I love Crimzo.
Oh, I do. Which is why I thought it was a perfect time to bring it up.
Like, look at the teams he's posted. Okay, I'm gonna rule out the Reign right now. I don't think he's going to the Atlanta Reign, and I'm ruling out the London Spitfire as well.
Interesting.
Because the rumor is obviously that Spitfire might pick up British Hurricane. If they do that, they've already got a stellar flex support in Reaper, so they don't need Crimzo.
For sure.
I'm ruling out Boston. Myunbon has made a very clear commitment to the uprising because Myunbon's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So that really leaves us. Again, not with the Gladiators, because Gladiators just signed Shu.
I was about to say that. They signed Shu.
Literally, it could be Houston. Yeah, it's Houston, Defiant, or Vancouver.
Yeah.
And those are very real options for Crimzo. Because, like, Houston's talked about picking up a bunch of Western talent and being a mixed roster.
Mm-hmm.
And Crimzo is arguably, I'll say, he's probably maybe the best Western flex support on the market for, like, on the free agency.
That's true.
So, I feel so bad though if he went to Vancouver. I want him so bad, but like,
yeah,
Crimzo literally took Rolf's job at the World Cup team like already, and so like he rolls into the Vancouver again. Rolf, it's me, your boy. You remember me? It's Crimzo from high school. He just takes it.
Yeah,
sit down. I'm playing now.
The way I'm looking at this is which team would benefit from arguably one of the most seasoned flex supports that is in the free agency right now. Like, who needs a like mid-20s flex support who is still got it, who is still popping off?
Toronto would actually be kind of good, to be honest. Depends who they get for, say, oh my god, you imagine a Crimzo FT god support line?
Don't.
That's like me. It would faint.
Yeah.
Like, we would not know how to react. Like, the whole episode, if we were talking about that, would just be, what?
I would.
FT god?
The title of the show would just be gibberish.
Just be, what?
That's like a Dragon Ball Z fusion, to be honest. It's just like your favorite thing, my favorite thing, and then on the same team. So good.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think he would be good on Defiant. It depends.
He would
on
really help a lot.
Yeah, but I can really see. I honestly really see him on Houston.
Okay, sorry, I just saw something from a town called. We're just, you know what? This is legit TMC. Just Patrick and I we're on Twitter while we're recording.
Just feeding into this beast
Apparently,
of drama.
Toronto Defiant are in talks with several Philly core players that just got released. KDG apparently really wants them, and some of them really love KDG's coaching philosophy.
Does that mean Ivy comes too?
Do you believe in love?
dude, if Ivy comes back, that's actually a really good pickup for them. With Logix and Ivy, that's an amazing pickup.
Because Ivy's he's more projectile, right?
Projectile, yeah, 100% projectile, tracer, all the stuff that Logix isn't good at. Like,
Logix is the best tracer. I will fight you.
No, he's not. He's
so good.
He's beautiful. He's great. Ivy's better. Sorry.
I'm getting in the car right now. Coming to Toronto. I'm restrictions aside. I joke. Please take them seriously.
Of course.
But I'm coming to your house, and me and Peach are gonna beat you up.
No. Also, for everyone who's been watching, Peach has been in this corner. If anyone's noticed, she's just right there sleeping on the stairs. You can see this beautiful cat's mug on YouTube/Games My Guy. I think that would be an amazing move. Ivy going over, that would be super, super sick.
They should, like, they need. I
We'll
think
see.
you need at least one hit stand player, minimum, and
Mhm.
maybe two flex. Because the flex player, like honestly, the perfect gladiators are so set in this regard because Kevster is an amazing hit stand. He's the one of the few players I can say is like a true flex.
Mhm.
Like he can play the projectile, the Genji, Pharah, Echo so well, but he's also top tier sniper. He's top tier hit stand. So like Kevster is a perfect flex player. So if you can find someone kind of like that, hard as it may be, bring
Yeah.
them into trial. Yeah, I think you should have a minimum of 3 DPS players. You don't ride 2. Because like if something that's what Boston did, and unfortunately, like Colorheads is good at certain heroes, but he had to learn so many heroes to play, and he struggled. And so you need to have options at DPS at minimum. So there's
It's
so
true.
many heroes.
Yeah, it's true.
God damn it, Crimzo, Patrick, Crimzo, come home.
That'd be cool. I think Crimzo would do good with, especially if with Beast in the front line, just having a veteran support player that's just supporting him. I think that would be a really good mix. And honestly, like having a veteran alongside other veterans, like with Logix, I think that'd be really awesome. And when Ivy gets signed, because now that's all I can think about.
It's happening.
Yeah, when he gets signed, that will be the perfect. That's your starting roster right there. So
Yeah, you got we got Sato.
Mhm.
Sato. I think Beast could take his job if Beast has a really good year. Hard to say, but I think it's a good idea to have an option in main tank, just because don't bet on an uncertainty.
Mhm.
That's such a in this league. It's such a hard. It just fucked up your season so quick.
Yeah, it really can, honestly. So we'll have to see. And every year always starts the same, where there's a lot of uncertainty. 3 teams are really, really good. Everyone else is shit. And then 2 months later, everyone else is really good. And then the bottom teams find themselves in the bottom 2. So
God damn, I don't know. My mind's flummoxed because the Crimit stuff, Crimzo, not Crimsix.
yeah,
Different lead entirely. Oh my god!
I believe.
Imagine if Dallas Fuel signs Crim6 to be their hit scan.
Crim 6. All right.
Like 6 Korean players. Crim6.
Crim 6. Hey guys, what's up?
Just rolled in. All right, nerds. I'm here to fuck people and fuck shit up and get it done. Let's go. I'm a champion.
Guys, come on. This is like Call of Duty. Speaking of Call of Duty, I know we only have a couple minutes left, but I think we can touch on it just because I think we are both so excited about it.
Very excited.
It was not what am I going to try and say here? Everyone knew that Hector Rodriguez did not want to leave the Optic brand. We all knew this when he went over to NRG and joined the Huntsman. But now, after he's reacquired the Optic brand, and we finally get to see the Optic brand back in the Call of Duty League under Hector Rodriguez, I think it's very exciting to see the Chicago Huntsman being taken over back to the Chicago Optic, which everyone has been super, super psyched about.
No one more than our dear Scump.
No. Who literally, as of speaking right now, 30 minutes ago, changed his Twitter handle back to Optic Scump, which I think is really, really exciting. It really makes me excited to watch Call of Duty League again, and it's just cool to see these players and this team that was like so important to the Call of Duty like ecosystem being back under the people that started it and being with the team that won it all like a couple of years ago as Optic. And I think it's fair to say no one was a fan of Optic. No one was a fan of the Chicago Huntsman. Everyone was a fan of the old Optic roster, which made the Huntsman way more popular. So it's really just a coming home. It's the prodigal son just coming back home, you know?
It's been a year for that though, because Nade Shot acquiring the LA slot for 100
yeah,
rebranding to LA Thieves.
That's
so
gonna
it's
be
no more. What was it? Was it Optic LA?
It was Optic LA at the beginning.
But now it's come home, and now Nate Shots back in COD,
which is amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, my respect for that man. He grows a lot every
Yeah.
time I see him tweet about something. I'm like, this guy just seems like a good dude. Growing the brand. 100 Thieves seems really cool.
Yeah.
And so happy to see that.
They really were the first team, other than Optic, obviously, that really created like a lifestyle around their team, like doing lifestyle branding and doing all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool to see that back in. But now we get to see a Nade Shot Hex rivalry. So every time 100 Thieves and Optic play, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be very, very exciting.
I'm not sure who I know. I'm really cheering for. I love me some Scump. I didn't know anything about Call of Duty, whatever before last year. So Scump was the player I was able to really gravitate towards. Did he have me invested in Call of Duty?
Totally.
And so I'm torn because I really like the idea of 100 Thieves and stuff like that. That seems really cool. But I love me some Scump. He walks out eating the soup, or eating the cereal, and I love it. And so I'm gonna have to take some time and have to figure out where I'm going. Where am I taking my fandom in 2021?
Honestly, 100 Thieves is your brand. If I know you at all, they're your brand. 100%. Maybe not your team, but they're definitely your brand. 100%. And yeah, like Nade Shot, man, Nade Shot did everything right in this acquisition, I feel. Just because when you first showed me the video of their announcing the 100 Thieves, the LA Thieves, and I saw TJ Halley there. I saw the remaining roster of LA Optic were still gonna be on the roster or just in the organization in one way or another. I thought that was amazing because the LA Optic team was like not supported at all near the end, especially near the end of the CDL league last year. They were just kind of 5 guys just trying to figure it out and try and like put together some wins to keep their spot in the CDL. And Nade Shot, he just came in, he saw the ecosystem that they had, he knew what they needed, but he wanted to keep them. He wanted to keep them in the roster, which I think is just a tip of the hat, you know, like that's just a classy move. He saw the potential that they had and he didn't throw it away. He just put them in and he's building a roster around them, which I think is really cool. TJ Halley's also really sick.
Yeah.
He's a boss.
It's really interesting to see how the league is next year.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. If in-person events return, I'd like to go to one.
Oh yeah.
Because I enjoy me some in-person events.
You do. It's true.
I've been at a couple interesting ones. I've yet to see Overwatch my Boston Uprising win the game when I've been to one. I believe third time is the charm.
I don't think everyone wants to see a grown man crying at an esports event.
It happened twice now. Fool me twice. And I'll shame on me. Fool me third time, but I'll still jump.
Yeah. Why do I keep wearing mascara to these things? Ah.
It makes my eyes pop.
Well, that's all the TMZ hot goss we have today.
Yep. We're just
on that image of Ethan crying with mascara running down his face. I think we're gonna close the podcast out on that. Do you have any final thoughts, Ethan?
Well, I'm now just going to be checking Twitter every 5 minutes for the hope of a Crimzo announcement to one of my favorite teams, and our favorite teams, I should say. But everything's just happening. Will Moth go with Gladiators? Maybe. Will Crimzo come in the Canadian team? Who knows? Is former Philly reuniting in Toronto? We'll find out. Everyone stay tuned. GMG, we have the hot goss when we hear it.
Hell yeah, that was like a Dragon Ball Z closing. Majin Buu has finally got the crystal. Anyways, we will see you all next podcast.